If you can close 1 to 3% of your leads, normally in most markets, the ROI is fantastic. So if you have a process at scale as an organization where it's not all you, because that's not going to scale. What's going to happen is you're going to nail this. You're going to get really good at it. You're going to start going on appointments, and then you're going to want to give it to your agents. And, if you can get them copying you in the process that I just went over with you, then it's like, hey, call 100 leads. 80 of them probably aren't going to answer, but out of the 20 that do, if you can find 1 to 3 that are looking to buy or sell in the next year, the ROI on that optic is fantastic. I mean, we've gotten it up to 3%. And the ROI is 400%. All I do is I turn the dial up as I have more agents, right? Because I run a teamerage. All of my agents are feeding their family off of the opportunities I'm providing them. It's a lot of mouths to feed, but you just keep turning the dial up because it's like, all right, follow the playbook, follow the things. Yes, they don't want to talk to you. It's okay. Get all up in the mix, right? And make it happen. My name is Barry Jenkins, and I normally wear white glasses, and people don't recognize me when I don't wear my white glasses. I don't like wearing glasses with my hat for some reason. I wrote a best-selling book. It's remained a bestseller for 3 years on lead conversion. I have 2 real estate teams, 90-agent team and a 6-agent team. And I get to teach at a lot of conferences across the country. So the team at Meskula has asked me to spend time with their users for 30 minutes every Friday. And the way that I feel group coaching is most effective is if individuals on the call take a second, think about a need that they have in their business, and then we talk about it. It's kind of 1-to-1, but 1-to-many, and we all get something out of it. So as I do most weeks, not every week, I want you to take a second and think about a recent win that you could share. Like, hey, Barry, I did what you told me and it worked. I always love that. Or it doesn't have to be that. It could be like, I just did something and it worked. Or a challenge. I tried something. I called someone and they hung up on me. So a win or a challenge. Who wants to go first?
This is my first time here, so I don't really think I have much to contribute on a win or a challenge as per your recommendation just yet.
Well, okay. How long have you been an agent, Lauren, by the way?
Nice to meet you. 15 years.
Okay. All right. And would you say that your business is absolutely perfect and there's nothing wrong with it? Or are there things that you would like to grow, maybe make more money or sell more houses, any of that stuff?
Absolutely. It's not perfect. I don't think anyone's business will be perfect. And
That was a loaded question.
That's one of the reasons why I'm starting this journey is because I feel like we're at the next stage. I have a business partner that I work full time with, and we have a team underneath us. But
you do?
It's just one of those things where we're just looking for that next level. We're trying to be better. It doesn't matter what business you're in, you will always have room for improvement. And that's kind of, I'm here just trying to see what we can do different to get the flow going even more, to be able to take a step back and kind of let other people take over how we're running the business. Right now I work 10 to 15-hour days most days. I'm just, so, just looking for a little more free time without compromising, what we're used to, and just living a little more comfortably without.
All right. So what we're going to do, Laura's got a unique opportunity to be a new customer of Meskula's and have the courage to have her camera on and to share where her business is at. So I'm going to talk to her about that. As we do that, you guys are going to learn some stuff. Okay. And as you are listening to me talk to Laura, if you have something you're like, ooh, can you go deeper on that? I just want you to raise your hand in the chat or put your question in the chat. So Laura, how many agents do you have on your team?
We have about 14 that they're somewhat independent, but if we have overflow, we send it to them. But my partner and I were the 2 of us on everything. So 2 of us first and foremost, and then overflow goes to about 14 others.
All right. And are you guys generating leads for all 14 or just the 2 owners of the team?
Well, that's the hope, is to generate more to be able to give everyone else, because it's I'm in Canada and it's a tough market right now. Now we're rolling into that rainy Christmas season where everything's slowing down. I have some clients right now who, come first week of December, we're taking it off because we don't want to be feeling
Understand.
anyone coming through the house. So everyone's kind of feeling that. It's been a tough market for everyone this year. So if we can
Okay.
provide more leads, and
All
we're
right.
all
So you're generating leads, and right now you and the team owner are working those. And when you look back over the last 6 to 12 months, I don't need exact numbers, but if you were to guess, what percentage of your and your team partners' business was from leads versus your past clients and your sphere of influence and all that? Would you say it's 50, 70, 30, 90, 10?
As far as my actual the team members go, I'm not sure how they're directly related to the ones they're bringing in, but my business is 98% past clients and referrals. We
Mhm.
don't advertise, we don't do
Okay.
marketing. We've tried other systems that are supposed to be lead generating ones that just
Mhm.
did not work out. They were
Mhm.
not giving anything qualified for a lead. So we're just you guys
I
had good
got you.
reviews, so we're hoping that this is the one that actually pans out with some decent leads. But yeah, we don't really rely on lead generation as much as repeat business, and referrals is
Okay.
really the bread and butter of what we do. It's people like what we do and they tell their friends.
All right. So I'm really glad I asked that question. I had a similar journey with leads from 2011 to 2014. I would change lead gen programs every 6 to 12 months. And it was because I didn't understand something. When a past client calls you and says, Laura, you sold me my home. I'd like to buy a new one. Can you help me? You get to just serve them. How can I
Mm.
help you when you want to move? It's almost like a waiter or a waitress is the analogy I use. Like, oh, okay, you want a burger? Would you like fries with that? You go right into just servicing the need. The problem with online leads globally is most of them are not aware of exactly what their need is just yet. So you are going to call leads online, Meskula or otherwise, and pretty globally, they're going to start the conversation with something like, yeah, I'm not that serious. No, I really don't really want to talk that much. No, I changed my mind. And if you're like most agents, you're going to hear that and be like, that sucks. With
Mm.
Meskula, what you're going to hear a lot of is, I just wanted to know the information, but I don't want to sell my home. And I have built my entire business off of people that start their conversations that way. The thing is, the consumer normally doesn't know what they want yet because this is the largest financial transaction of their life. So, my strong encouragement to you first, this is the first thing I want to tell you, is I want you to be able to start to get used to sitting in 2 to 3 minutes of discomfort when you're on the phone with them. The
Mm.
first couple minutes, don't be surprised or disappointed when they tell you why they're not a good lead. Your job is to, as you're sitting in that discomfort, normalize it because it triggers our neurological system. Like, oh my gosh, I would get sweat on the back of my neck. They don't want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to them. Go away. All right. So, first, we normalize the fact that the consumer isn't actually aware of what they need just yet. And they fundamentally misunderstand your role in the process. Do you guys have DoorDash in Canada?
Yes.
Okay. They think you're DoorDash. With DoorDash, you go to the app because you're hungry. You pick out the restaurant you want, look at the menu, give it your address, pick out the food, and tell it when you want the food, and you buy it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
See, they think that you're only relevant when it's time to stick a sign in the yard. So that really is the issue, Laura. With these leads, they're checking their home value and they're not ready to sell just yet. And because they think that you're only relevant maybe 3 or 4 weeks before it's time to list the home, they're rushing on. They're like, no, I don't need you. I'm good. Right. Your
Mm-hmm.
job is to ask enough questions, do enough discovery, be curious enough to find a way to be relevant to them today. So, as an
Yeah.
example, you call them and they say, I was just checking my home value. I don't really want to talk to an agent right now. I don't need any help. Got it. Totally understand. I'm so excited about giving you your home value. Right. So, you don't stay there. You're just like, oh, cool. Yeah, no problem. Right. Now, in the back of your
Mm-hmm.
mind, they don't want to talk to you. But what you do is you move on. And then you start asking questions. Tell me about your house, right? And the hope is as they're telling you about their home and the upgrades that they've done, so you can help them with their home value. There's maybe little moments where they say something like, yeah, my kids really hate my backyard. Oh, you have children. How many kids do you have? Right? Like you would have probably done that anyway,
Yeah.
but those are moments where you get to relate to them. You get to become a human being too. If you have children, or maybe you have a niece or nephew, now you can start to kind of like relate to them. So as you do that, you start to ask some high level questions. These are very important because whoever's asking the questions is controlling the conversation. So
Mhm.
questions that I like are questions that kind of go super high level because they're like not offensive. And so the question that I like is, I know you're not ready to move anytime soon. You'll hear me take it away a lot. I know you're not
Yeah.
ready to move anytime soon, but out of curiosity, when you do sell your home, are you going to stay local or are you going to move out of town? I don't know why that question works really well. Every market's different, but I want you to try that when you got the person that's like, yeah, go away. I
Mhm.
know you're not ready to move yet, but when you do move, are you going to stay local or move out of town? And the hope would be that they start to talk to you a little bit about where their head's at. Like, and what I've been telling the user or the agents on this call is to, if they do signal any kind of interest in buying another home one day, spend like a ridiculously long amount of time talking about where they're going to move.
Yeah.
Because what that allows you to do is, well, first of all, you'll start to hear them smile on the phone. Like, I really want the east side of town because da, da, da. You hear them start to dream
Mhm.
a little bit. Um, and then what it allows you to do is kind of like backdoor into, well, sounds like eventually where you want to live. Has anybody talked to you about the process of selling the home and moving to the next one? Are you going to be renting it out whenever you decide to move? So what happens is, in light of their excitement about where they're going, you get to start to talk about where they're living right now, and it's in a way that it's still serving their dream of where they're going to want to go.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing I'll tell you is that I have been beating this drum for 2 years on this Friday call, and it is crushed for so many agents on this call. Is um, when they tell you that they're like a year out. I want it to be the best news you've ever heard. Like, oh, so you're selling in a year. I'm so excited to hear about that you're not ready yet, because I specialize in working with people that aren't ready yet.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that I do that is I um, set up a time to walk your property, and I make sure you aren't going to waste money fixing things that aren't going to net you a return on investment. So that gets you in the home before they're ready to sell, because now you're providing a unique value that the internet can't provide. ChatGPT isn't going to be able to provide the specificity of what buyers are looking for with regards to living room furniture the same way that you can, because you have buyers. So it allows you to get into their home really quickly. So I know I went really quickly and I went over a whole bunch of stuff, but just high level, normalize the fact that they don't want to talk to you. It's not that they're a bad lead, they misunderstand your role. You're going to
Yeah.
sit in that discomfort for a few minutes on the phone, 2 to 3 minutes. It'll feel like forever. And as you do that, you're going to start to ask questions about where they're going to go. You're going to ask questions about, if they do have a home or an area that they're interested in, you're going to press into that. And then you're going to backdoor into the home that they're in by talking about how, I'm so glad you're not ready. I want to set up a time to meet with you. We have found that a very high percentage of people that are considering moving in the next year, but are not ready to sell their home, when we sell the value proposition of repairs, and we don't suggest it, we sell it. What I mean is, we don't say, would you like me to come help you make sure you don't waste money fixing on repairs? That is not the same as, my other clients really appreciate it when I meet with them early to save you money so that you're not wasting money fixing things that you're not going to get a return on investment. I like to do these walkthroughs Wednesday afternoons or Saturday mornings. I totally can be flexible. Is there a better day for me to do that quick walkthrough to make sure you're not fixing a bunch of stuff that you don't need to? Right. So it's
Yeah.
assumptive. You're taking on that leader direction. And if you nail the components of this, I'm just telling you, Meskula or otherwise, this becomes a very viable source of opportunities. And the last thing I'll tell you, and I want to open it up for the group to raise their hands and ask questions about this, is that the economics of this, if you can close 1 to 3% of your leads normally in most markets, the ROI is fantastic. So if you have a process at scale as an organization where it's not all you, because that's not going to scale, what's going to happen is you're going to nail this. You're going to get really good at it. You're going to start going on appointments, and then you're going to want to give it to your agents. And if you can get them copying you in the process that I just went over with you, then it's like, hey, call 100 leads. 80 of them probably aren't going to answer, but out of the 20 that do, if you can find 1 to 3 that are looking to buy or sell in the next year, the ROI on that optic is fantastic. We've gotten it up to 3%, and the ROI is 400%.
Yep.
And it's all I do is I turn the dial up as I have more agents, right? Because I run a teamerage. All of my agents are feeding their family off of the opportunities I'm providing them. It's a lot of mouths to feed, but like you just keep turning the dial up, because it's like, all right, follow the playbook, follow the things. Yes, they don't want to talk to you. It's okay. Get all up in the mix, right? And make it happen. Any questions about that? I know that was like a really long 15 minutes.
For me, not really. I mean,
Okay.
Completely in alignment with everything you're saying. This is about 10 years ago. I ran a luxury leasing company. So this was one of those things where you have to do that, and you get to turn them over into sales and all this stuff. So this is like the same stuff that we are preaching to our people, and we call it
amazing.
We call it cracking the nut. You want more of what's in there, and the LTR, you want to gain their trust and their respect. Don't worry if they didn't say no. So
amazing.
Completely on board with everything you're saying.
Good.
That it's really relevant. The other lead companies that I was saying we have difficulty with, like they just were not marketing the way they were supposed to. They were marketing houses that you can get for $1 million, and in the neighborhood, you couldn't even get like a townhouse for that. So people were responding to something that was unrealistic. Like
that's frustrating.
I want this. I'm like, well, that doesn't exist. And then they're like, well, you're false advertising. I'm like, I'm not advertising. I'm paying someone to do this. So, but I like that this is supposed to be more targeted towards seller leads. People I find are more realistic that way. And they do respond well to, like for everyone else, they do respond well to, just going to come and help you and just give you our little song and dance about what's going on. And people do appreciate that. And a lot of people will call just to be like a lot of my referrals, I'm not ready. I got your number from something. I'm not ready, but can you tell me what I need to do? Like that is number one for people, because like you said, it is most people, their biggest financial investment. So if you don't take it lightly, they will respect that as well. Like I win, you win.
Yep. And so train your agents to do this so that you don't have to work 15-hour days. That's the sweet spot. All right. Well, Mitch, how are you? I know your name's not Renee. It says your name's Renee. If you want me to call you Renee, I will, but I'm used to calling you Mitch. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great, Ed. I'm on a different computer, and so I wanted to show my face so you know I was here.
I forgive you.
To kind of answer Laura a little bit, and just being week after week with you, all that works because I've shifted over to actually trying to add value to myself. So when I talk to the people who say we're not ready, that I have something more than just like you would say any other agent. And I got to tell you, it works. I feel a lot more comfortable with that.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, Mitch.
So yeah, in fact, I put a plug in for your book. I actually bought your book and have read it a couple times in the last week. And
really?
Yeah. And you say exactly what's in there.
Thank you.
You tell us.
I actually wrote it. You have to say that nowadays.
Yeah, you did. I can see you. I can see when I read it, I see you in there saying that. So it's
fantastic.
You're not just saying this to us now.
So I mean, it's well, good. I'm so glad to hear that, Mitch. Keep doing what you're doing. And I think you're bringing up a really great point about lead nurture, because there's on the one side, there's the get in there, meet them, do all the things that I just told Laura, right? But then people have legitimate blockers, right? Like maybe they're 6 months out, maybe they're 9 months out. How do you stay relevant? Well, the way that most agents do it is they just call every once in a while, just checking to see how you're doing, right?
Right.
Complete waste of time. Most people do not enjoy being checked on by strangers that are trying to sell them something. Like, I want to be checked on by my family and my loved ones, but if I don't know you, if I don't have a personal relationship with you and I'm selling you something, getting checked on is not like fun, it's actually somewhat annoying. And the so I think having the lead nurture, having maybe like 9 things, right? Go to ChatGPT. Actually, before you go to ChatGPT, if you guys aren't using a service called Prompt Cowboy, you need to start using that. Prompt Cowboy makes you an expert in prompt engineering. So you can put in like 3 really lazy sentences and it will give you a prompt like you've never seen. So in this example, I go to Prompt Cowboy and I'm like, hey, I'm a real estate agent and I'm trying to nurture leads in Virginia Beach, Virginia, that own their home. They're seller leads. I want you to help me with 9 drip campaigns or however many you think. Be an expert. It's going to come up with this like huge long prompt. Like, I'm talking like it'll task it out. It'll stage it. And then you'll take that, you'll put it in ChatGPT, and then it can give you that value that you need space with them. So, and then when you're calling them, you're not like checking on you. You're like, hey, Mitch, this is Barry over at LPT. Wanted to call you real quick because I saw that the market has changed 3% year over year. That has some significant implications with regards to your home. Do you have 5 minutes to chat? That's not a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, not at all.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Buck has a really good question. Full-time CPA, transitioning to the dream of real estate. Congratulations, Buck. I'm excited for you, buddy. So I would tell you that, did you catch anything I said to Laura?
Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
I watched.
All right. So that's going to be super important for you because, I doubt, not that it's impossible, but I doubt you are prospecting for CPA clients. Normally people
Right.
come in and they're like, I need your help. I need your help with my taxes. And then you can service that. In this scenario, these leads are really going to fundamentally, like, they don't see the value prop. And if you don't give them the value proposition of speaking with you, they're just going to ignore it. They're not really going to press into it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and with consistency, I would tell you, if you can try to have a couple of conversations a day, you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And just accept the fact that a lot of people aren't going to answer the phone. If you're only calling like when it's convenient for you, 11:30, your lunch break, and the candle's going, the caffeine's kicked in, and nobody's answering the phone, you need to call at a different time, right? I like the golden hours of 8 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. I'm AI on one of my sales orgs, and I don't know why this is, but Tuesday night from 7 to 9 is the highest answer rate for one of my sales teams. I'm not answering my phone at 8 o'clock at night. If I don't know who it is, I'm like, I'm good. So that's not authentic to me. And I told my agent, because they asked me, what time should I call? I'm like, I want you to be authentic to yourself. If you're not answering the phone at 8 o'clock at night, don't call people at 8 o'clock at night. But if you're talking to people at 8 o'clock at night already, and that's who you are, you're going to get more answers. And they are.
Right. Yeah.
And the discovery process, as a CPA, unless it's a high profile client, so I'm just going into my limited experience with CPA. Discovery is very like, typically it like a that you follow with the client.
Yeah.
Discovery with real estate clients, I want you to take on the persona of like the most curious and passionate professor you've ever had. When you think about your college and high school career, did you have any teachers that were like, you could tell they were just stoked about whatever they were teaching?
Yeah.
That's the energy you have to bring. So they're like, yeah, I'm in a year. Oh, that's fascinating. I love that you're planning a year out. Like, how did you decide a year from now? Like, why not 2 years? Why not 6 months? Like, you're curious, And then as they dialogue with you, you latch onto whatever they give you. If they give you a detail about their personal life, go sideways. If they're like, oh, well, I like gardening. Oh my gosh, I kill everything. What do you grow? Like, I'm not good at it, Like, I even bought special cucumber seeds and I still can't freaking figure it out. Like, it's so annoying, right? And so you You become a human to them.
I really love
And
when you talk about like, tell me more about that, like that just cue. And
uh-huh.
I'm like literally like, this is brand new to calling strangers, right?
Yeah, it
Or
sucks.
talking to strangers. And so like, I'm hearing myself and I sound like this total bore, and I'm used to
Uh-huh.
talking to professionals and just matter of
Uh-huh.
fact. And so like, I was on a coaching call yesterday and Sebastian said, you need to be more enthusiastic. You need to be more curious. Because I do, I just get so like matter of fact. And I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to get used to that idea. And and I'm trying to put myself in situations where I'm that way naturally
Okay,
because
that's smart.
it feels very unnatural to
Hmm.
me to be excited talking to strangers, right?
I
But
gotcha.
I know of other times when I'm excited talking to strangers and I'm that way. I'm curious. I'm like, tell me more,
Hmm.
And so I'm trying to get to that place of like pulling things out of people without
Hmm.
saying the wrong things and pushing them away. Because I
All right.
two people I've talked to, I've gotten one that just kind of like I thought it went well, and then the next day she D&D'd me. I'm like, what? I
Mhm.
thought we had a good
Yeah,
conversation, and I went back
I
and listened to the
understand.
call and he's like, yeah, I mean you gave her too much too soon. You weren't very enthusiastic. Like maybe do ask these questions and get
Hmm.
more excited. And
All right, I'm going
okay,
to help you. All right. So, what I want you to do, first of all, if you and I were calling leads in my office, and when a lead would say to me they're waiting a year, you would watch me recline back in my chair and put my hands and smile. That's so interesting. Tell me more about that. And I'll just tell you, curiosity is charming. When you are
mm-hmm.
talking to someone that is curious about the words that are coming out of your mouth, it is universally a charming feeling, unless they're weird, But like generally speaking, it's like a charming experience to be with someone that's curious. And I'm telling you that because in this setting, this is the largest financial transaction of most people's lives. They are appropriately anxious about this topic.
Right,
And it is an act of compassion. This is very important. It is an act of compassion on your part to have an uncomfortable conversation with them, to express interest in the words that are coming out of their mouth. You are actively calming their nervous system in that moment. And,
mm-hmm.
and that is a gift that you are providing them. And when you start to ask them really good questions, I do some consultant work for a company that's worth a couple $1 billion. And I had to fly out to meet with these executives and give them some advice. And I looked at one of them and I asked him just a fantastic question. Like it was just a really, really, and he looked at me, we sat back, he paused, he rocked for a second and he goes, that's a really good question. And like, you could tell like it was everything he needed in the moment because what does that do for them? Self-discovery. I do not have a lot of people in my life that lead me down the path of self-discovery. I pay a therapist
Mm-hmm.
a lot of money to do exactly that. If you are giving that to someone in this moment as a stranger, right? Giving them the gift of self-discovery of what their needs are, what their dreams are, what they want. It is an act of compassion. So the reason why I went down that rabbit hole with you, Buck, is if you're not careful, you're just going to do this because you have to. And
Right,
there's going to come a point where you're going to start to feel cheap and that you're phony
mm-hmm.
and who am I really? But if I can get you to believe that you're actually performing as an act of compassion on behalf of this stranger, you're doing them a solid. You are helping
Right,
them. You're here and you're bending down low to hold their hand to give them the guidance they need. Now you can do it and you can actually be true to yourself. And candidly,
right,
it's a fantastic skill to learn. It really is, you know?
yeah,
Um, so intonation is important. So
yeah,
tell me more about that, right? That's different than tell me more about that, right? And I want you to feel like a big cheese ball. I want you to go in the mirror and say it to yourself, and you'll feel stupid. You're just going to, okay? I'm
right,
just do it anyway, right? So tell me more about that. That's interesting. Tell me more about that, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
Because when you do it, it makes it sound so easy.
all right, well, all right. So I want you to say, just go ahead and try, just say it to me.
Tell me more about that.
Dude, you nailed it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's it. You nailed it.
right,
You know, you spoke from the back of your throat, right?
right,
And so you were Tell me more about that, right? So I like to, when I'm doing this, I try to speak from my diaphragm, because it's not a right or a wrong thing, but you are attempting to gain their trust by the sound of your voice and the words coming out of your mouth, right?
Right.
Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. You can hear it. One is I'm straining to get the words out. It's like I'm on a, what are those dates called? Those dating? I don't know what they're called.
Speed dating.
Like, hi, will you date me, please? Right? Like, instead of saying, you sit down, you're comfortable and all that. I've never done it, but I'm just assuming what it's like. So, yeah, just own that. And I want you over the next week. Okay. I want you to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation over and over. And can we just normalize the fact that you're just not going to nail it all the time? Can that be okay next week? Right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to leave you guys with this. I said it, I think 3 weeks ago. There has been no growth in my career as a professional. There's been no growth in my life as a human, as a father, in the gym, without a significant season of discomfort associated with it. The reason why people don't become successful is they are not willing to sit in discomfort long enough to access that next aspect of their journey. So I want you to just normalize that you are just going to swing and miss. I want you to laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. You're really looking for one or two out, like you're looking for 10% of these people that have contacted you to have a substantive conversation with. And them all. If you have one, and Susie, I'm not looking to buy in a year, but you can call me every once in a while. Bring that conversation to me next Friday. That's what I do with my agents. We'll unpack it. We'll go deep on it, and we'll help you to learn this new skill. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah. All right, guys, I got to jump on my next call. It's fantastic to see you. Keep after it. I'll be, unfortunately or fortunately, teaching in Vegas next week. I'm not a huge fan of Las Vegas, but I will see you Friday. Thanks, everybody.